Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into how your person is feeling about you, blunt AF. There will also be an extended version of this reading available on my Patreon, where we're going to be looking into what's next for the connection. So here on the main channel, we'll look into your person's feelings about you, really focusing on a grounded and practical delivery and interpretation of the energies. And then if you find that the reading here on the main channel resonates with you and you want an extended version of your reading, you can head over to Patreon, where you can take a look at what's up next for the connection as the energy stands today. One thing I will also add, you guys, is that you can purchase extended readings as a single over on Patreon if you don't want to subscribe. But if you do subscribe, it's literally the same price as buying the extended, and then you get access to all the other content that I offer. So just be mindful of that as you're going in and deciding, how you want to purchase if you do want to support me over on Patreon. Okay. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into selecting your reading. If you're drawn to reading number 1, we're going to be working with the Waite Smith and this clear quartz. If you are drawn to reading number 2, we'll be working with the Twin Flame Journey Tarot and some peach moonstone. And if you're drawn to reading number 3, we'll be working with the Streetwise Spirit Tarot and some amethyst. Take a deep breath and think about your person. Choose the crystal or deck that you feel the most intuitively connected to. Once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. I'll see you there. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the clear quartz crystal and the Waite Smith Tarot, this will be your message. So here on the main channel, we're going to be looking into how your person is currently feeling about you, blunt AF. If this version of the reading resonates with you, group 1, there will be an extended available over on Patreon, where we're going to be taking a look into your person and you and the future of the connection as the energy stands today. So kind of where things are headed at this current moment. So let's go ahead and jump in to see where your person stands with regard to their feelings. So we have 222, partnerships and balance. Pay attention to the new people entering your life. Take time to balance your time and energy and existing ones. And then we have let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Okay, so where do they stand, group 1? So it definitely feels like this person is in a place where they are looking for balance when it comes to this connection. They're looking for alignment when it comes to this connection. Balance is important to this person. I feel like there is something about this situation that has felt out of balance for them. It's possible that there have been other people involved with this let your friends help you. Maybe people outside of the situation that have been throwing things off for some of you guys. But I do feel like this person right now, they're kind of turning to their group, their support group, their friends, right? And this might be their way of rebalancing themselves before they feel like they're able to rebalance things with you. So this person, I feel for some of you, they could be connecting with new people. They could be focusing on friendship and making new connections in that regard. But they also want harmony within this situation too. Okay, so let's see. How does group 1's person truly feel about them, Spirit? How does group 1's person truly feel about my group 1 viewers? How does my group 1 viewers person truly feel about them? Okay, so we've got the Two of Wands and the Magician coming out together. The Five of Wands in reverse. Yeah. And the Four of Wands. Knight of Wands. Three of Cups. Yeah, they're definitely like connecting a lot with friendships or see you as a friend. Okay. So I feel you guys, like, when it comes to relationships in this person's life, whether it's you specifically, I feel like this is actually inclusive of you, but it's also inclusive of other friends and other partnerships and connections in their life. With this Judgment energy at the bottom of the deck, they're in a place right now where it almost feels like relationships and this connection have been stressful to this person, or they've been kind of feeling anxious about it. Something has been keeping them up at night and having them like ruminating a lot. Like I was saying, it just feels like there's been some sort of imbalances here when it comes to this situation for this person. And I do feel for a lot of you, there's like other people involved in some regard. But with the Judgment energy here, it's like they're in a place where I feel like they're really taking a cold, hard look at all of their relationships, including this one. And they're asking themselves, which is like, what are they going to do? Right? How do these friendships, including this connection, like really fit into their life? Are they ready to start something new? Is this situation salvageable? I can tell you guys right now that they do feel a lack of harmony with you in particular. The Four of Wands being clarified by the Two of Cups in reverse is like, they definitely see that you guys are not on the same page emotionally. And there's a lack of comfort here with that. I don't know if some of you guys lived with this person, or maybe used to live together or live in the same community. It doesn't literally have to mean that, but it could for some of you. Like, it almost feels like some of you guys broke up with this person or went your separate ways. Somebody moved out. And if that wasn't your situation, then it's almost just like something happened here, conflict, that has left this person just feeling like things are just not comfortable. They're not approachable. They're not welcoming when it comes to this connection anymore. I definitely see that one of the ways that they're striving for balance is that they're not wanting to fight and argue with you. Right? So the Five of Wands in reverse is sort of like this person saying, I'm going to retreat from that. I don't want to deal with conflict. I'd rather hang out with my friends. Right? And so if you guys are coming into this reading and you know that you and this person are just not on the same page, maybe you are not seeing eye to eye, or you've separated from each other, I feel like they've intentionally pulled themselves back because they're just centering more on fun and friendships and joy right now. It's like their way of recentering themselves over here. Now, with all of that being said, I do think this person is very much still thinking about you, Group 1. Again, there's something about the situation that's been causing them to feel a little anxious, or maybe they're overthinking and worrying about things. Not sure if they're making the right choice when it comes to this connection. They are in a place with this Two of Wands and Magician where I feel like they are in a decision-making mode where they are wanting to almost generate you back, or generate your attention, or create potentially a new iteration of this connection. But there's a little bit of flaky energy around it still, right? The Two of Wands, this is an energy where we're kind of like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We could expand. They feel like they could expand and explore the situation more, but it's clarified by the Knight of Wands, which means it's more impulsive. It's more about them coming in and showing you a version of themselves that's going to get them excited, or get them access to your chemistry, attraction. Sometimes the Knight of Wands can be like sexually motivated at times. So that could be something that they're thinking about, even if it is subconscious. This person likes the attention that they get from you. They like how you make them feel, right? The Knight of Wands it's can be like a whirlwind romance energy. Somebody that kind of rushes in and they're really exciting and they're passionate and they sweep you off your feet kind of vibes. So I feel like they're in a place where things are a little wishy-washy when it comes to the situation. There doesn't really seem to be a lot of investment in actually repairing things that I see, group one, right? They're avoiding conflict. They don't want to fight with you. They definitely feel things are not balanced with you. They like the idea of coming in and out when it's exciting for them, or maybe to get access to the chemistry that you guys share. But it's definitely not somebody who's like grounded and committed and like, I really want to fix whatever drama happened between us. Okay, so let's see, Spirit. How does group one's person truly feel? Okay, so we do have love coming through. So that's really beautiful. What else? How does this person truly feel about group one? Lust, exactly. That's the Knight of Wands. And then we do have harmony. Yeah, they really want things to feel. And then we do have romantic energy here at the bottom of the deck. So that's interesting, you guys. This person definitely feels excited about you, right? They really want things to feel harmonious. They really want things to be like on the same page. I just worry that when I read their energy, that they're not coming in to like address whatever went wrong in the situation. It's like they're coming in with this really like intense romantic energy or kind of like lust driven energy. And they're thinking like, oh, this will fix it. But this energy isn't sustainable, right? It's a rush that they have. And it's like, as soon as they come in and hit you with that, it's going to fizzle out. It's not, because it's not sustainable effort that they're able to put in. So they do feel romantic energy with you. I feel like with it being paired with judgment, there could be a little bit of, again, assessing and reevaluating how they want to go about things. They do have love for you. I think there's, in their mind and their heart, their intentions are pure. I get the sense that your person isn't really the most self-aware group one. So they may genuinely come toward you and feel like, yeah, I like pile one. I'm really into them. Like, I want to be around them. But they don't understand that balancing relationships takes more than just like a burst of passion. Like, you have to put in tangible effort here. Okay, and I do see with the Three of Cups that there's still, these two cards next to each other just make me feel like your person is in fun party mode a little bit. Like, they like going out. Maybe for some of them, they like to drink. They're spending time with friends a lot. They do genuinely want things to feel balanced with you again and harmonious. I just don't think that they have the skills right now or the understanding of how to actually do that. So let's see what they view, how they view the status of this connection at this time. We have the Runner. When things start escalating, this one will start running. And that is kind of what the Knight of Wands is, right? The Knight of Wands likes a conquest. They like to come in and have fun and get wrapped up in the chemistry and the attraction. They're not always a character that likes to stick around, right? Like, as soon as this person feels like they need to commit, with that Two of Wands, they're gonna bolt. You know, they're not ready for that right now. We have, there are no words that can explain how you will feel. Enjoy this feeling. It's like what they're chasing after group one is a feeling that your connection gives them. That lust energy, that romantic energy. And then look, not intentional, just flowing, non-committal. And that makes sense. Like, even if you and this person are not necessarily like separated, the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups both being in reverse indicate not committing to me, right? The Four of Wands is more about that like stable foundation and harmony. Sometimes it can signify weddings or marriages. celebrations. Two of Cups in reverse is telling me that you guys are just not emotionally on the same page, right? And this person just doesn't have commitment on their mind. They have a feeling that you give them that they're chasing. And we have the chaser here at the bottom, likes what they can't have or what's not good for them, getting to know each other, right? And I wouldn't be surprised, group one, if your person is getting to know others too, not just you, with that Three of Cups and letting their friends help them, right? Part of that could be that they're out connecting with friends and maybe connecting with other romantic interests. There's a lot of women in this image, right? So let's take a look next and see what they would say. Channeling messages from their higher self to close it out, group one. Okay, messages from group one's higher self. Group one's person's higher self, messages from this person's higher self. It's not that deep. Okay. I see you as a strong, confident leader. And I miss you. And then we do also have, I have commitments and obligations outside of our connection. So they have other things in the background of their life that they could be reviewing at this time. Yeah, it's like when you guys are separated, they miss you. They miss your energy and the way that you make them feel. They may also look up to you a lot, group one. They're showing here as saying they see you as a strong, confident leader. Probably somebody who's a little bit more mature than they are. I think they really enjoy the access to your energy in that regard. But it's not that deep, I think really summarizes what I see in your person's energy, right? Because the Knight of Wands really isn't that deep. Now, it depends on surrounding cards too, right? But because we have so many cards surrounding this energy that are like in and out, kind of exploring, non-committal, partying, friendship, right? We don't really have a lot to anchor that Knight of Wands into something that's more permanent in their energy, right? This just seems like somebody who is just chasing after a feeling, chasing after the chemistry, but it's surface level stuff, right? It might be based more on physical attraction and admiration of you versus you and who you really are, which is why there's that lack of harmony with the Two of Cups in reversed here. So this was really interesting, group one. If you're going to end the reading for me here, please comment below and let me know how this resonates and what the story is with your person. If you want to join me on Patreon for the extended, if this reading resonated with you, we're going to be looking into what's up next for the connection, so where things may be headed based on the current energy. The link to that will be in the description box down below. Keep in mind, you guys, I do sell these extended readings as just like a one-off purchase. It's the same price as subscribing to my Patreon. So if you don't want to subscribe, if you're not really into a subscription, you can buy the single. But also know that if you want to try subscribing, it's a much better value for the price, right? So you're able to get all the other content and perks that I offer in addition to this extended reading every month. So just throwing that out there so everybody's aware. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey group two, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Twin Flame Journey Tarot and this Peach Moonstone, this will be your message. So today on the main channel, we're going to be looking into how your person feels about you, Blente F. And if this reading resonates with you here on the main channel, there will be an extended offered over on my Patreon where we're going to take a look into what's up next for the connection between you and your person. So let's go ahead and jump in to their feelings, starting with where they stand energetically. So we have Diamond, Promise, and we have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Okay. So for a lot of you, group two, I feel like your person I feel like they are a serious person. You know, like when I think of a diamond, that is like the ultimate signal of committing to someone. I also think of how diamonds are created, right? It's like, I think there's an Incubus song called Diamonds and Coal, and it's kind of about the pressure of being in a connection with someone. And I think the lyrics say, in spite of this, we're doing just fine. Even diamonds start as coal. It makes me feel like this person, maybe they're putting a little bit of pressure on themselves to be at a certain place, or maybe they want to be in a certain place financially or in their career for you, or before they're ready to commit or make a commitment to you or to someone. Maybe some of you guys work with this person too, but either way, it just feels like it's interesting that their energy about you is connected to finances and career, right? It feels like that is more of their focus right now. So let's continue. So Spirit, help us understand, please, how group number 2's person feels about them. How do they feel? Excuse me. Oh my goodness, the 3 of Swords. That's sad. Queen of Wands in reverse. And we have the Chariot and the Knight of Cups coming up together. Clarify this 3 of Swords. The 3 of Wands. The Queen of Wands in reverse, please. Nine of Swords. They're intimidated by you. And then we have Temperance in reverse. 9 of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. All right, let's see what we've got going on here, group 2. Yeah, I think they're definitely intimidated by you with the Queen of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Swords, the 9 of Swords rather, sorry. Queen of Wands is a really confident energy. It's a very, confident, magnetic energy. It's a leadership energy. The word demanding keeps popping into my head. This could be how this person views you or how they feel about you. You know, because sometimes the Queen of Wands in her shadow energy can be demanding. She can be like a Regina George energy. Now, it doesn't have to mean that that's really how you are. This could just be this person's perception, right? It's how they feel. But the Nine of Wands in reverse, they're definitely quite exhausted by the situation. It's possible they've even given up here. I don't think they've fully given up, but there is that energy of just being really tapped out. And they're worrying about something as it pertains to this Queen of Wands reversed energy. Like maybe there's a certain demand that you've put on them, a certain expectation you've rolled out. They just feel intimidated by your boldness, group 2. They are heartbroken. They're experiencing a lot of heartache when it comes to this connection. I wonder, did you guys date for a long time, or did you go on dates for a period of time? Because I see that here. And when I'm looking at the roses and like the diamonds, it gives me the energy that this person maybe feels like they've put in quite a bit of effort when it comes to you. Like I think of them buying you flowers or buying you gifts or something along those lines. And now the rose is like wilting, it's dying off. And there's something that's ended here for this person, or a harsh truth that has been shared that has left them feeling a lot of heartache about things. They're also showing here as waiting, like waiting for something to shift, waiting for something to change. Maybe they're waiting for you to give them the green light that they can come forward, or they're waiting on you for something specifically. Again, they are intimidated by you. So it wouldn't surprise me, right? Like if they were someone that is waiting for you to make the first move here, or to say something or do something, because they look to you as like the leader in this situation. They may feel it may not even be that you guys are demanding. It's like Queen of Wands, she can be fiery, like angry energy too. Like maybe they're worried about you being upset with them, or you're angry with them. And that's what's sort of sabotaging their forward movement here. This person does want to come toward you if they're not already. The Chariot and the Knight of Cups is like, they're very focused on you, group 2. They feel romantic feelings toward you. They want to make a romantic gesture or express something kind to you, because I think they are perceiving that things are really volatile right now between you. Things are not balanced. Do you guys notice too, there's fire here and the element of water, right? So those are two elements that don't like naturally go together. Water can put out the fire. Maybe this person is more emotional and sensitive and you're more fiery, and there's been a challenge in sort of balancing that. You know what it reminds me of is, did you guys ever see that movie? I think it's called Elemental. It's really cute, but it's like about the elements. I think it's earth, wind, water, and fire. And there's a romantic story between someone who's water and someone who is fire. And it took time in that story for the two of them to really understand how to be together without the elements, how they naturally were, like hurting each other, right? Because the fire character, I can't remember the characters' names, but she would literally evaporate her partner, right? So I feel like there might be a metaphor there for you guys where it's like this person feels kind of like things are not in balance. Temperance in reverse definitely shows that. Maybe things have been moving too fast, or you guys haven't been super patient with each other. This energy of temperance is about taking your time. And so maybe that is something that spirit is wanting you to take a look at when it comes to this person in this situation, group 2. Because as in that movie, you can, with time and patience and understanding and getting to know each other, you can be happy. So let's see. If you've seen the movie, comment below and let me know if that made sense. If not, you might want to watch it. All right, so let's see. Group 2. How does this person truly feel, Spirit, about my group 2 viewers? How do they truly feel about my group number 2 viewers? Disinterested. Okay. Empathy. Impartial. Lots of gray energy here. They're definitely not impartial, and they're definitely not disinterested, group 2. I feel there's a lot of pain under the surface. So I almost feel like that's how this person is viewing you in some way. Like it's possible that with this 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands, waiting results, it's like I feel your person thinks you're not into them anymore, or that you're not wanting them or not wanting to be with them anymore. If there's been some sort of a conflict or argument or like something where you guys just weren't gelling, I think that this Knight of Cups and this Chariot energy is about them desiring to come towards you in a way to neutralize whatever volatility has been here, right? So it's like the Chariot is coming toward you. They're focusing on the situation. The Knight of Cups is a very diplomatic energy too. They know how to talk to people in a kind, empathetic way to help win them over or neutralize things that might be going left, right? So I feel like that's a part of what's happening for them and their emotions for you. There's also an energy of impulsivity here and butterflies, right? So it's like they might be coming out of a period of pause or kind of struggling with, do I approach group 2? Do I say something? Do I act on impulse with this situation? Okay. Let's see how they view the status of this connection. Distant, yeah. A disconnect, disharmony, or argument is currently playing a factor in your connection. They feel, yeah, it makes sense with the Three of Wands. I think they've been waiting for you to re-engage with them, or they perceive you as taking space. And thus maybe not being interested in them anymore. Off limits, already involved. Okay. And then we have trustworthy. You can trust this connection. This is how they view the status. So they're kind of like, I think they're perceiving that things are not open right now. Like things are off limits. Maybe one or both of you is already committed to somebody else, or somebody has other commitments outside of this connection in general, right? Maybe they perceive you as being busy, or they themselves are busy with their career, right? This person, I do think, is struggling a little bit with trusting that things will come back together in divine timing with you. Temperance in reverse is sometimes a little bit of an impatient energy, right? And so I see that in them, especially with this excited and impulsive being next to it. It's like, I do feel that they desire to close the gap, but they're intimidated by how you might react to them. They're intimidated by you, and they're hurting. And I feel like what they need to do is just kind of lean back and let things flow. So let's take a look to close us out, group 2, on this portion of the reading. We're going to see what their higher self would say to you. They're being honest about their feelings. Ooh, I'm cold and illogical in my thinking. The other thing I'm feeling, I'm holding myself accountable. That's interesting. The other thing I feel with that cold and illogical, I think that ties in very much with the impartial and the disinterested. I feel like your person does a lot of suppressing of their feelings and emotions. And so it's not that they're actually cold toward you. I think it's that they are hurting and they're heartbroken and they're anxious about things. And it's easier for them to push that down than to face it. They could be somebody who's very like traditionally masculine for some of you. I feel that with this energy of finances and career and promise, like they take pride in their work or their status. Let's see, one more. I'm spying on you. That's too funny. I have toxic behaviors, patterns, and habits that affect the way I show up with you. So they have their own issues, group 2. I would not take it personally with regard to how this person is engaging with you, because they have their own healing and inner work that they need to do. I think what Spirit is kind of pointing to with that card is just to say, like, they are contributing to this dynamic with their behavior, right? So they're watching you, they're keeping an eye on you from a distance. I think they're feeling impatient, and I think they're sort of like always suppressing the impulse to just like reach out to you. And there's something here with accountability, right? Like that kind of came up in the beginning. There's something here about them wanting to be better. And I think that Queen of Wands in reverse energy is like them feeling intimidated by your strength, or maybe some harsh feedback or truth that you gave them, and they want to be better. I think on some level they empathize with what you said, even though it kind of intimidated them or made them feel small for some. But there's an energy of them wanting to be better or to right wrongs, smooth things over by doing the right thing here. So this is where we're going to end the reading here on the main channel, group 2. If you're stopping here, comment below and let me know a little bit about what's been happening between you and this person. If this part of the reading resonates for you and you want to join me on Patreon for the extended, we'll be looking into what is next for the connection. You can find the link to that video in the description box down below. I do want to share, you guys, that I price these extended readings for the same price as the full value of the membership on my Patreon. So if you don't want to do a subscription, totally cool. You can just purchase this as a one-off. But if you're interested to see what other work that I'm doing on Patreon, there's a ton of exclusive content that I put out every month to include these. So if you feel like you want to get more value out of your $6, you might consider checking out the memberships. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the amethyst crystal and the Streetwise Spirit Tarot, this will be your message. So here on the main channel today, we're going to be looking into how your person currently feels about you, Blente F, of course. And then if this reading resonates well with you, I'll also be offering an extended over on my Patreon where we're going to look into what's next for the connection. So we will go ahead and get started on the main channel here with their feelings, looking at where they stand energetically first. Ooh. So we have orange, enthusiasm, excitement, and warmth. I love that color. And then we have, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Ooh, okay, group 3. I like this energy. This person, they're in a space where I think they feel very warm about you. I think they're excited about you. The color of this orange is, it's almost giving me that energy of like when you're cold and then you step out into this like patch of sunlight and it just really, it warms you so beautifully. I feel like that's how they feel about you and toward this connection. And I feel like there's also quite a bit of optimism here when it comes to you. Like they're thinking about you in terms of you could be the one for them, right? If it's not quite that at that level yet or quite that in that space, I do think that they feel that there's potential and possibility here, and that excites them. So let's continue. Group 3. How do they feel, Spirit, about my group number 3 viewers? How does group 3's person feel about them? We have the Tower in reverse. Okay. The 10 of Swords. Okay. And the Moon. Okay. All right, this is taking a turn I wasn't expecting. Clarifying the Tower, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Clarifying the Ten of Swords, we have the Page of Wands. Clarifying the Moon, we have the King of Cups in reverse. And then we do have a Hierophant in reverse at the bottom of the deck. All right, group 3. I'm kind of getting the sense that your person may not be in the best place mentally right now. We do have a Hierophant in reverse. So the Hierophant in reverse can be like, maybe this is somebody that you guys have been divorced from, or there was once a more traditional aspect to this connection that is no longer there. This iteration, this depiction of the Hierophant is more like spiritual advisor or subject matter expert. So there could be that sort of through line here, but it's unconventional with it being reversed. So it's kind of interesting, right? That they're in this space of this could be the one when it comes to you, but the undertone is that there's something here that's not commitment or not conventional in that sense. I feel like this person is not in a good place mentally, group 3, especially with this top row, the Tower, reverse, the Ten of Swords, and the Moon. There's something about this person's feelings that are being informed by those energies. I wouldn't be surprised if they are struggling with their mental health. And there's something about you that has this beautiful, warm, vibrant energy that, like the analogy that I was giving earlier, where it's like you're just this warm, bright light that revives them as they've been in kind of a dark, ambiguous place. So I feel like your person with this Tower in reverse and this King of Pentacles in reverse, they could be trying to rebuild their stability, right? The King of Pentacles is really good in business, right? There's somebody who's responsible. They're like a provider in that traditional sense, but it's in reverse here. So it could be that this person is struggling with work, career, or finances, their own personal stability. I do feel a sense of them trying to repair that. And I do think that that causes them, with the Ten of Swords, a little bit of stress. Now, that being said, with the Page of Wands, you know, this is that enthusiasm. So there's something about, I feel like when you guys message them, or when you guys pay attention to them or connect with them or talk briefly, even if it's just like a short sporadic check-in, it infuses them with warmth. They really do seem to view you highly. Underneath of this deck here, we have the Star underneath of the Hierophant in reverse. So there's something about your energy that's really healing for this person. I feel like you tend to be somebody who sees the best in people. This person feels like you see the best in them, like you see their potential, and it makes them feel really good and really inspired in a certain way. They may also put you guys up on a pedestal a little bit too, and that's, I think, where this could be the one stuff is coming from, because I'm not seeing a lot in their feelings around them actually wanting to do anything about it yet. It's like, and maybe that's normal. Maybe it's like, maybe this is like a brand new connection. If that's the case, I think it makes sense that they're not necessarily having these grand gestures. Like if this is somebody that you guys just literally met, the Page of Wands makes sense to me. It's almost like you have awakened them to something more bright and positive that they've been missing in their life. I feel like they've been depressed or just not doing very well. I think they're still like not quite sure how they fully feel, right? They know they feel good around you. They know that you're kind to them. I think they enjoy when they hear from you, even if it's not consistent. I feel like it's not consistent. But this Knight of Cups is reversed. And this is more about those grand romantic gestures. I think they're still, with that moon there, not fully sure, or suppressing that impulse a little bit here. maybe they know they're not in the best place. Let's see. All right, Spirit. So for group 3, tell me a little bit more, please, about how this person feels about my group number 3 viewers. How do they feel? Anxious. And then we have respect. Yeah, I feel like they put you guys on a pedestal. They do respect you. There's something that they're anxious about with regard to their stability here. Like I don't think they feel like they're stable financially or otherwise, even though they do see your value and they feel excited about you. We have marginalized. So this is sort of like they feel and sad. So there's an energy of them feeling like they're on the outside of your life. Like they're not really a main character in your life. They could be grieving. If you guys, again, if you're married to this person, they could be grieving the loss of that commitment that they had with you. You know, because the Page of Wands is just like a little taste of somebody. It's not like they're getting a lot of your time, your effort, your energy. They also might feel like they're not good enough for you, group 3. And so like if this person has showed up in Page of Wands energy toward you, where they just kind of sporadically message you and there's not really been consistent dates and things like that, consistent efforts to see you, it looks like it's more so coming from them feeling like they're not on your level, like they're not good enough for you. One more. Optimism and hope. And we have nostalgia. So yeah, there's something familiar about you. There's something familiar and like warm and soothing. It's like, you know, I think even if this is somebody you guys don't necessarily have a past with, this orange energy, it reminds me of like almost like the color that the sun was in the 90s. If you guys get what I mean, it's like everything had this warm, yellowy glow to it. You know what I mean? There's something about the feeling that you create for this person that feels nostalgic and warm in a good way. So whether you guys have that long history with commitment or marriage or not, I think that this is how they feel around you. And, you know, with the star, this makes a lot of sense with this optimism. I think there's something about your energy that makes them feel good, that makes them feel better, that's very healing. Maybe helps them view their situation with more positivity than they had been before. Okay. So let's next take a look at how they're viewing the status of the situation with you. How does group 3's person view the status of their connection with you, Spirit? We have intense. Expect lots of passion with this connection, and remember, too much of anything can be bad. So they definitely have some fears. I think they feel very strongly, but they have some fears about going too far. And I think it comes back to their lack of stability in themselves that they feel, and their lack of self-worth. Maybe they don't feel like they really deserve it, which is sad. How do they view the status of this connection, please, Spirit? Secretive. This one is hiding their real feelings, which makes sense with the Knight of Cups in reverse. I think they do have feelings, romantic feelings for you. Clearly, they view you very highly, but they're not expressing it. Situationship. This can get confusing. Ask yourself, where is this going and what do you want? So, that makes sense with the moon. You guys, honestly, I definitely have gotten that card before for situationships. you know, because it's a very ambiguous energy where it's like about escaping into something and just not really knowing where it's fully going, not being sure about where it's going. We do also have side piece at the bottom of the deck and obsessed as well. So maybe for some of you guys, this person is otherwise occupied, and that would make sense with this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Maybe that's literal for this person. Like you are a bright spot for them, but they may already be with the one. And hence, this is why we have this very minimal energy with the Page of Wands, because you're something that's more on the side of their life versus in their life predominantly. The moon can also indicate escaping, right? In those types of third-party situations as well. So that could be the case for some of you guys. Somebody here is already in a connection, and so we're not able to give as much time, effort, and energy into this one. All right, so group 3, let's end this part of your reading by getting some channeled messages from your person. So we're just gonna look into what they would say to you if they were being truthful and honest about their feelings. What would group 3's person say to them if they were being truthful and honest about their feelings? You are intellectually stimulating. I enjoy our conversations. Okay. I'm putting you in the friend zone. And I'm taking space. And I have a crush on you at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Yeah, so those romantic feelings are definitely there, but they are suppressed. This person seems to be putting you at a distance from them. They definitely enjoy talking with you. Here's the thing, you guys. There's one of two things happening here. Take it as it resonates with your situation. This is either a third party where like somebody in this connection, whether it's you or them, maybe them, is already in a commitment with someone. And so because of that, this person is putting you in the friend zone and keeping you at arm's length, even though they enjoy talking with you and have like a little crush on you. But the other storyline that I'm getting is that this person feels deeply unworthy of you, right? So if that's not your situation, right, it could be that your person just feels deeply unworthy of you. And so instead of coming toward you and like talking more, they sort of put you up on a pedestal and they friend zone you and they keep you at a distance because they're not sure what they want. And I think a lot of that self-worth stuff is coming from that King of Pentacles in reverse, right? They just don't have a lot to offer right now, or they're not feeling good about their career, their finances. So very interesting dynamics, group 3. What we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the extended on Patreon. So first, if you're ending the reading with me here, comment below. Let me know how this resonates and what the story is between you and your person. If you would like to join me over on Patreon, we're going to look into what's next for this connection. The link to that reading will be in the description box down below. Before you head over there, I do want to share with you guys that the pricing that I do for these extended readings, I price it at the exact same cost as memberships, right? So if you're not really into doing a monthly subscription, that's totally fine. I wanted to make sure that I had the option for you to purchase this as like a one-off video. But if you do feel open to a subscription, just know that there's a lot more that you get for the price if you're a member on my Patreon. So make sure that you check out all the perks and make sure that you're getting whatever you find the most value in at this particular moment in time, okay? I'll see you guys in the next reading soon. Bye.